So Cyril, we will put up the team here, and you tell us maybe the problem areas or the more difficult areas to pick between 1 to 8, say.
Well, you know, there was a lot of contenders, and it'll be interesting to see how this changes as the year goes on. Dunlow got in there ahead of Clinton Tennessee. Noel Collins, I have to say, is a brilliant corner at making ahead of Shane O'Neill this year. The top five to know Cadigan and Keith Rothester win for Cadigan. Jackie Turner was more or less on his own. Now, Tommy Welch is probably the hurler of the season so far, but yet again, Tony Brown was pushing him hard. Michael Brick Welch has been brilliant as well, so had Ronan Cornbury got ahead, and JJ Delaney kind of walked on as well. Michael Rice, midfield wasn't that, you know, it wasn't that hard to pick. Michael Rice is a new kid on the block, really, Kilkenny. That's our 7, but that's our 8. The big interesting days will be to see how this changes as the year goes on, especially with the All-Stars.
Of course. And when we go into the attack then, Michael, the rest of it?
Yeah, just Shannon Sullivan there edges out, maybe like Cathal Naughton, Michael Fenley, Ger Farrer, who all had good matches. The forward line, I found actually difficult enough. I think a lot of interchanging with forwards, you know, playing in different positions, moving around. Damien Hayes, a couple of good games along the way. You know, Owen Larkin at 7 wides against Galway. If he'd scored them, he might be in there. Joe Canning, Asaki not in there, maybe there before the end of the year. And John Milan, probably, and Shane Dooley, the two standout scoring forwards of the year so far.
OK, let's let our panellists pick holes with it now. Diarmuid O'Sullivan, your young successor, Owen Cadigan, gets in there. What do you make of the defence selected?
Yeah, I suppose, you know, it's very hard to look beyond Dunlow. I think he's brought goalkeeping to a new level. Yeah. You know, not only his shot stopping, but his ability to pick a pass out when he's under pressure with the ball. And I think gives Cork a fierce platform to work from if he can gain possession and give it to a guy out the field who's free. You know, because with the game they've been using, getting the ball into the full forward line, I think it's key, and you know he has been key to that. I suppose, you know, Noel Connors has been the find of the season really for the Waterford team. Brian Murphy can count himself very, very unlucky, in my opinion, not to make that team. Probably the same with Declan Prendergast, the half back for Waterford. He's been very, very dominant. But look, you know, the half back line is there. Yeah. You know, it's very, very hard to break into that. It would be. Okay, Fergal Hartley, what do you make of the selection?
Yeah, I think some of the best hurlers in the country so far this year have been in half-back lines. You know, you have John Gardner and Tony Brown at number 5, but it'd be very hard not to pick Tommy Welsh. You know, at centre-back, Ronan Curran as well, Joey Boland from Dublin, Tony O'Regan from Galway. They've all been very, very strong. So the half-back line in particular, I think, was one of the toughest ones to pick. OK. Tommy Dunn, no tip player, but they could still make the final and end up with 5 or 6 All-Stars.
Well, that's it, and you know, Cyril was trying very hard earlier on there to make tip warm favourites next Sunday, so we'd be hoping by the end of the year we'd have some sort of a Tipperary representative. But I suppose it's encouraging from Tip's point of view. David Young came on against Wexford and scored 3 points from right half back, so he might be a guy that's going to have a good remainder of the season.
All right, half-back line is definitely the most competitive line. Dinny, no Antrim fella made it. What do you make of the lad's selection there?
Well, I suppose if you look at Galway won the league, they have won in it. I suppose Joe Canning got some great scores in that game. Like, and I felt maybe Joe should be there somewhere.
Okay.
Like he's a great scorer, even though he didn't get the scores against Kilkenny, but the league in particular, he was league final in particular. Okay, good point. Johnny Dooley.
Yeah,
your nephew's in.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's early in the year, but I suppose you know, he had 2 frees to level 2 games, which was you know, there were 2 pressure scores, and he played well from play in general. But probably today maybe wasn't one of his better games from play. But in general, I think, you know, as the season goes, it's a fairly reasonable team.
Okay, John Henderson, only 6 Kilkenny men.
Is that all? I think there's only 4 days.
Is it? Whatever.
Oh, whatever. Henry has picked his centre forward, and he's probably only played about 6 minutes there, so I'd be surprised by that. I don't think it really matters. I know it's a bit of fun and that. I think the one that's going to be picked in October is the one that counts.